Hey folks, going to do a quick review of the market internals for today, May 23rd, 2023. Mostly uneventful morning. We had a gap down scenario, oscillated between the deviation bands on the TWAP. And other than the exception of the open, which, as I've described in other videos, can have a bit of a data skew on gap down days or gap up days, we mostly consolidated all of our ticks above zero. Add and Vold both showing a potentially bullish NYSE. We did oscillate down only a couple of times. You can see that correlated with lower deviation touches here at extremes. Last one here, really just not a whole lot of action, but lo and behold, we see a little bit of a peak of maybe something that could come up here with the ad breaking down its 20 SMA trend line, or rather the 20 SMA closing price. It does regain, but you can see it's waffling here quite a lot. However, Vold is not in alignment. It's still uptrending. We also don't see that there's a strong imbalance or balance on the trend. We have only a couple moments of imbalance being shown here on trend. The rest of the time, we have really nothing. I've mentioned in past videos, this could be still providing okay setups, but it's not really bullish or bearish either way. Personally, I would say that trend wasn't giving us a whole lot. This is definitely more of a balanced kind of trading. We're just oscillating around fair price. Lo and behold, though, around 1208, we do see the ad and Vold bands are breaking their closing 20 period moving average. We also see, for the first time, we have the tick average closures coming below zero. We also start to see the tick is starting to heat up at the lower end in the bearish area. We also see TWAP is showing red, mostly consistent here, and at my favorite time that I've mentioned in past videos is when the sentiment really starts to change, right around 12:30 Eastern time. The first short, you maybe could have caught this as an anticipatory short entry. However, it didn't work earlier in the day, so not something I would go full size on, maybe not even try at all. Definitely wait for somewhat of a retest. You could see we did have that, okay? Even the tick closures coming back over, the 20 period closures averages are coming back up, then we slam right back down. So this area here would have been a pretty good setup for a short entry. If you entered here, you're not far away from where this price was when it first broke down. Still getting a really good short entry price. We get an extreme closure here at 1234, first one of the day. So to me, I take that as a sign that any hopes of bullishness for the day is probably over. We're already well past an attempt for a V-type scenario. In my opinion, I don't see many V-type scenarios where we come down and back up, or we go up and come back down on days where we spent the majority of the morning, the first half, in a consolidation phase. Obviously, it's always a possibility, but this first extreme closure on tick for the day gives me a little bit more confidence that shorts are going to be the priority for the rest of the day. And also the fact that even though we spent the majority of time above tick zero in the bullish area, we never made any progression on this price here. We never established a new fair value price. TWAP's flat the entire morning. We did not close this gap here. There's a lot of signs of bearishness. This short entry here, perfect, right? You definitely break this relative low here, and we have many other short entry attempts on the standard deviation low end here. Definitely a couple of really great shorts. All the signs here on tick were honestly really nice. These particular areas here where we've got a strong down move printed on tick, and then we go into an upward moment here. Look at these really strong, tall tick candles, but the closures are still, under or right at zero. These are really good entries from what I've seen in the past. Obviously, not every one of them, but when the bands are red and the triangles are red, given what that means, it's usually good spots. If you look at each one of these, they coincide with standard deviation tests. This is the market essentially trying to re-enter the realm of previously established fair price. It's just not happening. I actually did take this one. I exited for around 55%. And definitely could have held it a lot longer. We just can't do that every time. And a lot of times holding for the whole move usually results in some tears. All this was pretty standard stuff. It's a textbook day of how the internals can help you stay out of consolidation. Looking here, we see no balance or imbalance on trend. We see potential extreme setups on tick, but no follow through on price. If you want, try to grab some bounces or rejections, however you set up you like. By and large, no big leverage, no big size. By and large, this isn't the move you're looking for. Wait for the move to be made, and once it's established, then you can look for a nice entry. Okay, so let's turn the tick levels on here. Now the tick levels really starts to provide a lot more context on what's going on, right? So TWAP does a great job of giving us dynamic support and resistance lines and just showing us, that we're oscillating around fair price. Tick levels pretty much provides the same thing. Where are we accumulating on price all the tick movements? So you can see here, every time tick is at the 500-ish area, 5 to 600-ish area, we're printing that tick level and we're just strengthening it over and over and over again, just showing us how strong that resistance is and how strong the support is. But as soon as that one side breaks, we start to see more of that downward movement. Now we can also turn on the weekly TWAP, and I'm not going to turn the bands on. We don't really need those. But yeah, we can see here we're under, starting from yesterday, the new weekly TWAP's a fair value price, and we're dragging it down right along with the daily. Not a surprise to see those have mostly the same shape towards the end of the day. And the monthly TWAP, tick weighted average price, we're also starting to come down to where it is currently at. Its current price is around 412. Last week, that was the one thing I had noted, just how far spread the weekly, the monthly, and the daily TWAPs were. So it definitely seemed to me that while all these can be drug up some here, it definitely seemed to me like we could have a mean reversion type scenario forming where we come back and test some of these fair values on a broader time frame. Tick, the histogram on the new indicator pack pretty much shows the same thing here. We're plotting the highs and the lows that are printing here on the candles right on the histogram. So nothing really new here. We have a purple line showing the closures. Right around 1208, we're getting that breakdown of the zero line. So no surprises here, right? And we start seeing those really thick closures down below the negative 1000. We never saw that on the high side at all today on tick. So that pretty much confirmed the sentiment. We can look at a trend here. And you can see, right, we spend a lot of time down here in the bullish area, never really going down into that strong bullish, potentially quote unquote overbought area. So still consolidating. We never really made any new highs or new lows all day. For all intents and purposes, this is balance. It's susceptible to the data skew that I've mentioned in the past, where things are moving a little funky. It's not, the candles, I think in theory, should be up here, and that would then have printed some orange dots here for us. Maybe I can work on some better detection algorithms for this. It is what it is. We're susceptible to the data of the market all the same. Then we see here on add all the good work that the buyers did, bringing us above zero all the way back down below. And right here around the 12 mark, we start to see that reversal, right? So here's those moving averages. One thing I had on here as well was, I think around 600 and something. I think it was like 629 and change. I had a line here on my Thinkorswim platform. Something I saw, right? We hit this multiple times. We started out around here yesterday. We bounced here, and the level pretty much paid off today. We see here we did break above. That got me a little excited for maybe some upside, even though we had other areas to go and test. It's where we fell back below, and that pretty much told me everything I needed to know, and we lost it all. Volt pretty much gave us the same picture as add, breaking above zero. It did not start as low. Right around the same time, that 12 o'clock time frame, broke below its moving averages and started to sell off, and pretty hard here at the end of the day. we haven't done this yet, but we'll look at the Qs. Yeah, Qs basically the exact same story here. Nothing really much unique about the Qs. Russell has been slightly different past couple of days, and yeah, here it's pretty strong compared to the other markets. So Russell was really powering through quite a lot of fair value. It even broke the upper deviation. Yeah, multiple new highs made all morning. Then we top out here right around noon. So it seems almost to me like Russell was pumping the market. Once the Russell calmed down, look at that. We lose everything and then some. We even made a newer low than what we had in the morning session. So pretty interesting. This concludes the update for everything today. Hope you all killed it out there. As always, happy trading.